Hi there, it's Miss Jenn. Some of my favorite things in the fall is learning about the things that I love. So, I love pumpkins, and this book is called Seed Sprout Pumpkin Pie. What could that mean? It starts as a seed, then it sprouts. Does it skip right to pumpkin pie? I wish. No. We have to grow the pumpkins too, right? And this is by Jill Esbaum. So this is one of my favorites. And the first page says, have you picked your pumpkin? Ooh, that looks nice. I love this picture. Look at all the pumpkins in the background. That's probably why pumpkins are some of my favorite, because they're orange. I love orange. All right, so here is how it works. A pumpkin seed, right there. There's the pumpkin seed. A pumpkin seed is tucked into the sun-warmed earth. In the spring, rains soften its tough coat. If you've ever touched a pumpkin seed, it is tough. It is tough. A root reaches, look at that, that's the pumpkin sprout, and there's its roots. The roots reach for nutrients. A sprout reaches for light. So the roots go down into the soil for their nutrients and food, and the plant reaches up toward the light. Soon, jagged leaves rise from twisty vines wandering in all directions. That's what it looks like in the garden. And you know, the leaves and the vines have little pricklies on them. That's to keep them safe. You wouldn't want to touch them, and neither do the animals. Oh, and of course, who loves the flowers? The bees do. Bees visit golden blossoms, spreading pollen from flower to flower. Look at that big, giant pumpkin flower. Now, if you've never seen pumpkins grow, first comes the flower, and then the flower has to kind of wither and die to leave the pumpkin. I'll show you. Here it is. Here's a flower that's it started to wither, but look at the bottom of it. It's going to turn into that. There's a pumpkin. See, there's the flower on the end of it that's withered and died. And so this flower is going to do that and turn into that. Here and there are tiny knobs replacing the wilted flowers. The knobs change color slowly. They swell, growing heavier by the day. Do you see them changing color? They're green, but they're starting to turn orange. The cooler nights arrive, and the vines shrivel. And we're left with pumpkins. Look! Left behind are pumpkins, 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 more pumpkins. Look at that farm full of pumpkins. I would like to go there. Have you ever been to a pumpkin farm? Pumpkins are actually a type of squash, and look how many types there are. Look at them all. They're different colors and sizes. Some are kind of funny looking. Some are lumpy and bumpy. You know, pumpkins can be green or red or tan or yellow or white or even blue. Pumpkins and squash can be all those colors. Look at that. They can be all these colors, but the ones that we know best are bright orange. I really like gourds, the little teeny ones that are all different colors and shapes. Those are fun. Oh, some are tall pumpkins. Some are short pumpkins. Look at the difference. Tall pumpkins, short pumpkins. Some are really bumpy and little. Pumpkins could be smooth or bumpy. There are even giant pumpkins that you can sit inside. Look at that. That's a pumpkin, and they're using it as a boat. Can you imagine? They hollowed out the inside, and now it'll float. Did you know that? Oh, if you knock on a pumpkin, that's the sound it might make. Thump, thump, thump. A pumpkin sounds hollow, and it mostly is, but inside, look, there's stringy wet pulp and oodles of slippery white seeds. Can you see that? Look at that slippery pulp. Are you going to carve a pumpkin this year? Seeds might be saved to grow next year's pumpkins, or they could be dried for a crunchy snack. Do you like to eat pumpkin seeds? Look at this girl carving her pumpkin. She's pulling out the ooey gooey stringy parts. And by her face, I think she thinks it's kind of yucky. What about you? Would you like to do that? Ooh, pumpkin pulp smells sharp and tangy, but it can be made into lots of things, like delicious breads, pumpkin bread, and soups. I love pumpkin soup. And other desserts. Look, there's the pumpkin pie. Let's see. Sugar pumpkins go into the spicy pies we bring to Thanksgiving. And it says the end. Unless. You see that? It says the end unless. Unless. Is there something else we can do with pumpkins in the fall? Have you thought of it? Jack-o'-lanterns! Look at those faces. We can carve them too. So they're good for food and also for decoration. Yes. Now you can give yours a funny face or a creepy one or a silly one. These are some pumpkin faces. And there is a scarecrow with a pumpkin head. Would you do that? Ooh, now will your jack-o'-lantern decorate your kitchen table? Will you add it to striped gourds and sunset-colored leaves? Those are cute. Or will it sit on your porch, and will you put a candle in it for a spooky Halloween decoration? What would you do with your Halloween pumpkin? Well, you know, after Halloween, they start to look like this, right? And unused pumpkins, or ones that we're done with, are fed to animals or left in the field to nourish the precious soil. So we can use them for food for the animals after they're done, or also leave them in the field. And that will help the soil. And you know what happens then, right? Those pumpkins will await the spring under a wintry blanket. Oh, let's not think about that too soon. Thanks for reading that with me. That was Seed, Sprout, Pumpkin Pie by Jill Esbaum.